I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I'm so proud to have you. You know, the first one. That's going down in history. uh, First question. So before in the backstage, first question: why football? As a business person, you could do many other things in terms of investment with other, even different sports as well. Why football?
Why, and specifically, why Jamaican football, in which
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Why Jamaica?
most persons would say over the past few years hasn't been the best. Why did you take on that challenge to try to uplift the football, especially on that side of the island as well?
So, I took up football mainly because of youth and youth development. My son, who's 10, has been playing football for years, and we've gone on different paths with him outside of Jamaica, particularly in Spain. Son, who's 10, has been playing football for years, and we've gone on different paths with him outside of Jamaica, particularly in Spain, with Barcelona and Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, and now he's been selected to play a tournament next summer in Spain. And I said to myself, well, fortunately, we have the means to bring him to those types of opportunities. And unfortunately, most Jamaicans don't have means for those types of opportunities. So I then said, well, if we can go somewhere, we must can bring somewhere to Jamaica and provide that opportunity. And that's really where the thought process came from. And then being a businessman and looking at it and saying, football has always been looked upon as like social intervention, and go to companies and beg money from their social corporate responsibility budgets. And I was watching and had many conversations with Chris Williams, who's the chairman of Professional Football Jamaica, who's a good friend of mine. And I was saying to him, I like the direction you're going, because you're taking a business attitude towards it versus just being, a social impact aspect. And that is where football needs to go to, if Jamaica is to not only be competitive at the local, but at the international level, as in the national team making the World Cup and actually, doing something and making strides in the World Cup. So more that research that I did into, I recognize in order to develop players and actually, make it a business, you need to be affiliated to a club and to be able to transfer players through the FIFA Connect platforms and things like that. Because that's the only legal and way to do it locally and internationally. So I went to Dr. Spencer, who had recently done a stint at MBU on the PO. And I actually was a director of MBU back in like 2014 with PO for a short stint. So I kind of I knew my way around the team a little bit, and I went to Doc and say, yo, how we can do this thing. Him say, well, let's go back to Paul, because he wants to look at a way to transition himself out of the team and give it to somebody else who can take it to the next level. And October 2023 is when we took over, and the rest is history from there.
The team.
No, not. I wouldn't say so. I mean, the challenges, I think, were looking at it and saying, all right, well, we've now taken over this monster, right? Because Montego Bay United is not a normal team, and it is a force to be reckoned with outside of the results on the field, right? If you think about the history of Montego Bay United, coming from the days of Seba and football in the west of Wadad and Violet Kickers and just the quality of ball that took place in the western region, it is something that you had to sit down and think about and respect and determine how you're going to unearth this power once again. And that was kind of our first approach. I mean, to the point where last season, as I was saying, kind of behind the scenes before we got live, is when we saw the jerseys and the home jersey was green and blue and the away jersey was red and green, and I ask some questions like what is the difference of the colors and the red and the green, and it was just by chance. It was like, I think it was one of the first or second home matches we had to wear the red and green because the blue and green was conflicting with another side, and you could hear in the crowd some of the staunch diehard Seba fans that are still around are like, yo, the man, you get it, because they're sit down and bring out the red and green. And from that, I asked questions like, is there any rules? Can we switch it from red and green as the home jersey and so on? And they're like, no, man, you can choose anything. And so we said, all right, from here on out for this season, the red and green is the home jersey. And that was like a first big move that kind of, shot it and bring back the vibes towards the club.